going to work on the Crossface Series. It's our primary #1 turn. We expect everybody to be able to teach us, know this by heart. Dakota is flat on his belly. I found a way to get him down to his base. Broken him down, chop, picked an ankle, run a spiral ride, whatever I've done. Biggest part of our offense on top is what we call a Crossface Series. We're going to take this hand and go across his face and lock up this far arm here. Okay. Everybody hold out one arm here, over the top with your pinky and hook right here on the elbow. Okay. It's almost like God made your elbow to hook right here. The rest of your hand kind of locks on, you get a nice, good grip. Okay. You don't get that when you grab a forearm and you grab up here on the tricep. Pinky locks right around the elbow. The rest of your hand just kind of falls into place. You got a nice solid handle right there. That's what we're looking for when we're going to start working our crossface. 2 ways to get it. Coach Jennison, who was a head coach before, well, 2 head coaches before me, he would teach you to take your free hand and grab this wrist so his arm can't go anywhere. Then he would teach you to come across and get your crossface and work your turns from there. I think that's a very good way to get it done. Myself, I like to teach jamming his arm forward. And I teach that for a certain reason. If Dakota's got his arms in good and tight here, look at how tough it is to turn him over. Okay? Now what if I stick his hands way out here? How tough is it to turn him over? Easier. It's a lot less difficult to turn him over. When we start working our breakdown, that's what we're looking at doing. I am going to be on his right side. I'm going to crossface with my right hand. Okay? My left hand is going to pop that arm forward. I'm going to hit it good and hard. Okay? I'd much rather pop forward hard here than try and swing across the head here. This, nothing wrong with that. I come swing hard here and start digging on the head, and that's an unsportsmanlike conduct. That's not the way we do things. Okay? So I got him broke down. I'm looking. I'm going to take this free hand. Again, I'm on his right side. I'm going to take my free hand. I'm going to jam that arm forward. Take my hand on the right side. Get my crossface lock here. Once I have my crossface locked, I want to pull it in to myself here. Here's the position I want to get in. I want him carrying my weight. I want his inside shoulder on the mat. From here, again, start, kind of all in one motion, jam this arm forward, crossface there, pull that arm up to here. Okay? Good hard lock with this hand, crossface pulled up tight. Again, jam, get that crossface lock, pull it in here. First turn, easiest turn out of that, you already got him 2/3 of the way over. We call it a butcher. Okay? A butcher. Got a big old meat cleaver chopping off a chunk of meat. I got this arm cross-faced here. What I want to do is lift that up just a little bit. I want to take my free hand, reach underneath, and at a minimum, I'm going to grab here. I would like to get all the way over and grab this lat muscle here, this big chunk of muscle right here. Here's where I really like to get. Okay? If I can't get that far, I at least get 2 hands right here. I'm still pulling in and up. From there, I'm going to use my feet to turn him over. Again, we start from scratch. I got his hips covered. I'm working forward. I jam. I get my crossface. I lock and I pull it in. I'm driving forward. I get a lot of weight on this shoulder so he cannot move. From here, I feel comfortable enough to move out to the side. Again, I'm on my toes, I'm not on my knees. I'm going to take this free hand from underneath. I'm going to try and grab this lat, this shoulder muscle here. If I can't, I get two arms right here. I'm going to pull in and up. Now everything else is just my toes circling around his head. That's going to turn him over. I go from here till I start getting near fall, or I work for a pin. Okay? Jam, crossface, bury that shoulder. He's got a lot of weight here, it's going to make it very tough to get up. Free hand, underneath, grabs at least here at the arm, if not the shoulder. I keep pulling in and up. Now I take my time, I circle, I got him on his back, trying to work for a fall. As I get it jammed, locked up, I switch hands. My head's over here looking at his back. I'm going to start to run. I'm going to run. Once I get about halfway around, my head's going to go from looking at his back, pop my head over, and start looking at his stomach. Okay? When Dakota rolled through, that's because my head stayed here, and I don't have any control here. Okay? I've taken all of my weight off him with my head here. Okay? I did all that work to break him down and start turning him. Might as well get the advantage of getting the points. Jam that crossface. Bury that shoulder. Free hand comes underneath. Circle, circle, circle. I get him almost parallel. Now my head's going to rotate over to the inside. I'm going to keep circling. I'm going to work on if his hips are flat to the mat, okay? His hips don't turn one way or the other. You're probably going to go ahead and just run a butcher. A lot of our big guys are going to be the easiest turn you work on. Some of us big guys, it's tougher to cradle. Doesn't mean you can't cradle, it's just tougher to do so. Hips are flat to the mat. We go ahead and work that butcher. Now, when he reacts to us, okay, we're going to spin around this way. When he reacts to us and turns a hip in, okay? We've jammed that crossface, we've got it locked up, we've got it pulled in, we've got the shoulder buried. And bottom man's just not going to lay there. After a while, he's going to figure out something's going on, I'm in trouble. He's going to open up his hips. He's either going to turn them into you, or he's going to turn them away from you. Coach Anderson's going to show the cradle when he is turned away from you. I've got my crossface locked up. He turns away, Coach Anderson's going to show the cradle. When his hips are turned into you, we're going to show what we call a Turk or a lift and step. Okay? That's exactly what it sounds like. I got my crossface locked up, shoulder buried. Again, I'm on my toes. I'm only on my knees to show you what we're doing. I'm going to hook behind his knee. In wrestling, you're going to figure out there's not a lot of just grabbing. Now there's some, but we do a lot with hooks. Tucking this thumb in here on either hand and kind of hooking and pulling. I'm going to hook this knee here. Okay? Not at the calf, not at the hamstring where he's really big. Right here where his knee bends, back of his knee pin. I'm going to hook and lift. From there, I'm going to step. Okay? This does one big thing. It opens his hips up. Hit a man, you can open his hips up, it's going to make it a lot easier to turn. So, he's in here wrestling, and he's going to go ahead and open his hips. I'm going to hook. Okay, palm down, lift, and I probably put it up here on my hip or on the table as we say. Step. I want to get this foot as close to his butt as I can get. Okay? If it's down here, he can crawl forward and get his leg out. That's not what I want. I'm going to do all that work. I want to keep him there. Okay? I get him flat, jam that cross face, I pull it in tight. I'm looking for the butcher. He turns the hip in. Nice, easy turn. Lift. Put it up here on the table. So my arm doesn't have to carry the weight. I'm going to step as close to his rear end as I can. Once I'm there, I'm going to just throw this leg forward. The part that takes a little bit of time, a little bit of feel, is what I do with that foot once I'm there. Jam, that crossface, lift, step. I now drive forward. I want to try and get this heel, my heel, in the air as high as I can. Okay? I'm facing hips down, and I'm elevating this leg as high as I can. I still have my crossface. Once I step, lift, step, driving forward, I'm elevating this leg as high as I can. Okay? Opens his hips up, makes it easier for me to get near fall and turn. Okay, so one time facing, you guys. Okay. Jam, get that cross face and turns in, lift, put it up here on the table. Step as close to his butt as I can. Me being a big guy, I just kind of throw that leg forward. Okay. As I throw, I drive down, elevate this leg, never left the crossface. This here, never let go. Okay? If I have to, hand that lifted, elbows out, post so he doesn't roll through. Okay? If I don't do that, I just lift and step, and he starts rolling all that work for nothing, I don't get any near fall count.
Get my crossface and pull in. One thing, even in practice, make sure you're keeping this nice and tight, hold it up. Right? I see a lot of guys are kind of like, oh, what do I do here, what do I do here? Right? Get in the habit of just lean on it. Right? Make your chest big, chest proud, right? Proud to be a wrestler. Right? You're the man, right? So rest on top of your chest. We all have big chest. But keep this nice and tight. Hold us up like this, right? Just like this. Now I can kind of read what he does. We just went over and turned his leg in like this, right? The chest is here. I should be able to feel it. I should be able to look back and see, oh yeah, he's turned into me, right? I come there and scoop, right into that, nice and tight. Keep looking at it, exposed, right? Now, I've done that move one time. He knows it's coming, right? He knows if he turns into me, it's not going to be good. It's going to roll over his back, right? Get my crossface on. He's going to turn away. He's like, I'm not going to give him that. Now what I'm going to do is cradle him up. Again, I like my crossface right there, right above that elbow. Right? It's really key. If it's too high, you're not going to have the same power. Right? I can't pull the cross as far. Right? You can kind of fight right here. It doesn't hurt as bad. If I get down here, right? Now my arm, this part of my arm here, that void part's going right across his face over here. So I'm pulling that in. Just kind of crank down a little bit. Okay? He pulls away. Take my free hand, plant it behind his knee. I'm not going to move this hand. This hand's not going to come off the mat. It's going to stay right there. And now I'm just going to run. I'm going to switch my hips. My hips are like this, straight. I plant my hand. I'm going to switch like this, push the leg up. I'm just going to pick up his head. I'm going to run my feet. There. Alright? 4 more times. I'll keep going. So I post my hand. Slide up, post my hand. I switch my hip. Put this hip down. So there. This hip down. Now I'm going to push off and drive and pick up on this and run. Right, one time. Here. Okay, what I'm trying to do, here, pick up, drive. I'm trying to drive it so I can pick, grab my own hand, right here. Grab on my own wrist, now I got my cradle up, it's called cradle. Crossface, pick it up in front of it, lock it up, now it's a key. I'm going to step up high. For some of you big guys, it's going to be tough. Right? I'm going to step in between his legs, and I'm going to pick him up. Just like this. It's like I'm doing a power kick. Here, it's going to take, I'm not going to be able to go, muscle, pull back in. Right? When I'm going to pick him up, I got to hit it. It's like in a power clean. pick up tight. I'm squishing them up, tight in my chest. In one motion, you can keep going right backwards. Notice my legs over. Right backwards, right to there. Okay. Now I'm getting points, getting your ball. I can sit here, keep it tight. Don't let it go loose. Right? He's going to kick and fight. Keep this leg hooked and pushing down. This leg going up. Keep it nice and tight to my chest. Just sit here. Wait for your back count. Then we'll work on the finish. Here, right? My chest is on him. I'd probably be a wrestler. Look around, come around. Close my hand. Pick it up. Right there. Grab my hand again. Sometimes you can come right here. Raise the knee underneath him. Step up high. Work him up. Fall back. And just sit here. Right, get your near fall. Work on the finish now. Up. Into here. Now on the finish, what we like to do is take this bottom knee. Bottom knee here. I'm going to turn my hips again down towards the mat. I'm going to scoop myself backwards. Let's turn this. Kind of deep. To the side of the gallery first. Here. And here. Right. Turn my hip down. Scoot. See it? Watch my toe. Watch my leg. Scoot. Now I have distance in between his body and mine. Right. And here. Now I bring his knee into his side. Way up into his ribs here. Way up into here. And I push my knee into his ribs and pull his body against there. Okay? You can get your head in here on his head. Kind of pull like that too. That's perfect. Go forehead to temple, back side of your head to there. Right? Pull them in against your knee and squish them up. Right? Now let's go left side. I'll get back. Get here. You turn away. Plant. Run it. To there. Right. Now when I finish it, I bring down here. I'm going to scoop my tips away. Right. Keep my toe. I got to lock it. I got to scoop my toe. Keep my toe back. To there. Notice how I go this. Now there's space in between my knee and his side. Comes up over there. Head in his temple. Pull him in tight.
That's where you'll hear us as coaches saying bottom knee in the side. That's what we're talking about. The bottom knee has to scoop, dig that into the ribs.
Ryan like this, or Ryan like this. Right? If he's in a ball, I can roll him like this a lot easier. Right? So I keep it that way. Right? First thing I do is I got locked up with him, get him up over here. I'll pull a hip into the side. I'm going to push into him. Right? So run my feet. Right? Not push. Just sit here. I'm going to run my feet. My hips are at or below hips, not above. You hear? Right? At or below. Lock my hips in. Bring my toes in on a sprinter. Push. Sit here. Then I got knock down. Set the tree. Pull them up. Fall back. Get to here. Lock it up. Come here. I can't get them. Now, another one I can do is start setting my ankle. I'm going to put both my legs in between his legs. Right? I get to here. Try to lift it. It's not going to go. Right? I'm not going to go get it. I can pick up both his legs here. Drive him over to there. Then finish. So we're going to go over a couple of false cradles. In a false cradle, all a false cradle means you don't have a crossface on. Okay? You should always be looking for cradle. Always be looking for any time a guy's head still keeps knee, you can always cradle there. Okay? You can always get a cradle on. But if you don't have, if you get a cradle on without a crossface, it's called a false cradle. Okay? So, we're down. Spencer's going to do a bad stand up. Right? He's going to bring his head to his knee like this. He's going to stand up leg up, tight, get away from me. As soon as he does that, I'm going to get my cradle on. Right? And it's pretty simple. Just coming around, getting this part of my arm on this part of his knee. Right there. My arm there on him. Lock it up to here. And now we're pretty much exactly the same. Right? You notice how he is? He's down with one knee up, one knee here. Right? I'm right here too. Same concept now with cradles. I don't want to hang on to it loose and start pulling like this. Right? This is too loose. Okay? When I lock this on, I want to pull it tight. Like that. I want to pull it tight and then, right? I want my hands beyond my chin. Up like this. Squeeze them in and up, hard as you can. Not here, not pulling here. Right, my arms are like that. It's not good. Get them up and tight, up and high. Here, I'm squeezing them in tight to here. Now I'm going to take my time. I'm not just going to whip them back as hard as I can. Right? I'm going to take my time and pull them backwards to here. Slowly fall back. Now he's going to be fighting. I'll try to get that leg up. Over here. I'm still trying to finish him from here. For him like that. You gotta get him. I'll get here. Okay. Bad sit up. Right. He sits up to there. I follow here. Now I do the same thing. I sit to my butt just like him. And slowly squeeze it tight into me. Right? Always squeezing into me. Always into you. Squeeze it tight into me. Slowly come back. Keep my head to this temple. My head on his head. My head comes out. Try to be able to get up. The base. Quick crossface cradle. On a quick cradle, you don't usually do any bumping or anything, right? You can come here and do it like that. A lot of times, when you do a quick cradle, right, we're going to go, you just kind of ride it higher, throw it on like this. You throw it on and you drive it forward. And as you drive forward, this hand, comes underneath and lock up my hand. Right? Got that across, underneath, and lock him up underneath. Here, underneath, lock up, every hand up, side by side like this. Right? First thing we can do is tuck this leg. Right? I'm here, step over, kick this leg off from here. Drive over. Pass. Here. Take that heel. Drive back. Here. That's the first one you try to do. Right? Try that. Work and you got other one. Quick cradle, lock up, try to get this leg, he's pushing into me. I can't kick that leg out, I can't get it out. Just pull it back in, push it in tight. I'm going to take this knee, and I got all this pressure pushed in, I'm going to drop it down, and next to his knee. Pressure here, drop it down, and come this way. I have it locked up, trying to kick this leg out, not going, he's pushing back. As soon as I feel push back, drop it. And key on that. When I'm pushing here, and all that pressure, I feel I'm pushed back. I gotta put my knee in. I gotta come up to here. I can't just try to pull him across like this, like that. You gotta actively, you gotta drive him, pull him over the top. I get pressure. I gotta hit a kind of roll, get up my toes if I can, and bring him over the top. In here. One more time. Got this on. I go to my number one finish. I try to get this leg. It's not going. He's too strong. Can't get it. As soon as he pushes back, drop. Do over the top. Get my finish.
As you watch Coach do it, again, it's a simple question. Which one's stronger? Your biceps or your hips? Well, obviously your hips. Watch his hips this time. His arms aren't really pulling side to side. It's his hips that are making this move work. His hands are in and good and tight, but it's his hips and his opponent's pressure that gets enough to make this roll. Now again, we always want to go and try and power clean first. If that doesn't work, then we're going to want to try and bust the hip. If that doesn't work, then we try to walk the knee out. If we're on to our fourth one, that's the roll. But whatever you do, commit to it and do it. Don't kind of go, oh, maybe I should. You're going to hit it hard. But that's your fourth line of offense. It's not your go-to offense.
I got the cradle on here, crossface cradle. He has his leg tucked. I can't hook it to drive him over. He's not pushing in, he's just kind of sitting there. Okay? Guy sitting there and he pulls his arm out. Right on top. As soon as he pulls his arm out, I gotta jump my hip over here. Okay? Not up here, over that way. I'm gonna try kick aim. Right? I'm gonna try kick aim. I have the cradle on, he pulls out. I'm gonna jump my hip, not just try to slide my hip, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna jump on it. Right? Cradle's nice and tight still. I've got tucked in tight. Hold up. I'm gonna be a sprinter. Jump, kick. Oh, I got this. Right, here. Right. Finish it normal. Here. Right, more time.
You guys notice Coach Anderson, his stomach, his belly button's always pointing down the whole time he's doing this. He's not going to his back.
Crossface here. I do the crossface. Right, don't panic. You're trying to pull your head in. Right? You pull it in back. I pull it back. Let's go. Try to kick. How's it going that way? Right? Watch when I jump. I kind of go up and then I kick my leg that way.
Let's start.
Jump, kick.
Stop.
There.
Oh,
Alright, some guys like to stay here and try to finish it. I always like to come here, put it in here, place right there. Okay, so guys pull arm up, jump across. This one's going to take a little bit of getting used to. If you don't get it right away, that's fine. Right? If you end up with the guys on top of you, that means you jump forward. You jump across and you kick your, point your toes, right? You jump, from here, jump up, and I swing my legs, and I kick them. Hard as I can that way. Up and kick. I real wide. Do that one.